watch on Facebook and YouTube, LinkedIn right now. We're going to keep it not that short, but kind of short today. Just a tiny bit of housekeeping. We are scheduling 2 new crush groups right now. We'll get back to you on the dates. One of them is one specific company that wants the whole crush group for themselves. But we will get the date for the second group. This is one of my favorite times of the year to start a crush group because you really just roll right into what we used to call the spring market. I don't even know what it's called now. We call it just the market all the time. So that's happening. Again, as we go, I haven't talked about this in one of these calls in a while. Those of you that haven't been to my site, there's a lot of great podcasts in there. We shot a lot of them. We shot them all in a TV studio. So they have great audio and visual. And one of the things that a lot of loan officers will do is they will right click and take one of the agent links off there. They'll text that link to one of their agent partners and then talk about the link. I interview a lot of real estate agents in there, and there's some pretty cool interviews, and some of them have some really cool stuff in there for agents to do. Those of you that know me pretty well know that I don't let people off the hook in an interview, so it's not some fluff thing. People are actually talking about things that they're supposed to be or actually doing. So this week, what I wanted to touch on and sort of drive home is I want to talk about, I'm just going to say lead to contract. We call it lead to contract right now to make it a little easier to think about. So we all know I'm looking where everyone is here in this market. I don't think there's a market out there. If there is, you can put it in the chat. Let me know that really where you can just whip out and buy any house you want. I think inventory is at historic lows. I mean, historic. Since they've been tracking it, I don't know if inventory has ever been this low before anywhere. And we've got a lot of, we have sellers paralyzed that don't even want to put their house on the market because they're scared they will have no place to go. That's happening. And there's just flat out nothing out there. And in some markets, Samantha is on here right now. I spoke to her earlier in Denver. She was talking about just even the high end, what she would call quote unquote luxury is insane. You know, a house is 1.4 and it's going for 1.7 kind of crap. So we're right back in the huge roll up. Again, appraisals take forever to get, but you know, how many value issues are we really having? I'm not hearing a lot about it. I'm hearing more about customer service with appraisals, not actual value. So the values are coming in because the comps are there. I think we all know that the bus has left the station. The old, I'm waiting for the prices to come back down before I buy. I think that person's going to be waiting till ever. Like, I don't think we might neutralize, but I don't think we're going backwards. I don't think the prices are dropping unless you're in a very, very unique market. So those waiters, everything's going to get more expensive, especially if the rates go up a little bit and the housing prices even stay the same. You're just looking at a higher payment. So, you know, right now we're able to overcome some of this with rate, meaning the fact that their payments are so low, it doesn't matter if they're paying an extra $100,000 for the house. Okay, so the reason I wanted to bring up lead to contract today is those of you that have dealt with me, that have been in a crush group, you know my terminology. You know what a BIC is, which is a button car. You know what a PP is, which is a partial prequal. But I'm going to leave that alone right now because I know there's a bunch of people on here that are in active crush groups, are new to me, and I simply want to talk about contract to close for a second, okay? It has never been more important since I've been in the loan business, which is a very, very long time, than now to fully pre-approve borrowers. Now, when I say fully pre-approve, this doesn't mean you're guaranteed rate and you're using Red Arrow. This doesn't mean that you're at Movement and you're sending it through whatever. This doesn't mean that you're at Loan Depot and you're sending it through whatever department to get it quote unquote pre-approved. Okay, you can have 30 pre-approved loans that an underwriter's never seen if you know what you're doing. And all that means is the file is completely docked. You pulled credit and the file is completely docked. When I say completely docked, I mean every single thing is in the file. Large deposits are dealt with. Income is dealt with. You know, kids' ages, you know, years of school. Every single thing is in that file. So when you submit that file to underwriting, you literally have zero conditions on it. I mean, none. Zero. The only stuff that will come back is if you're submitting credit, you're going to have appraisal. And when you get that contract, the only thing you're going to really need is the contract, the appraisal, the homeowner's insurance, and you're going to mess around with the earnest money, maybe a gift. That's about it. If you're messing with anything else after that, you have failed. If you submit a loan to underwriting and you have any conditions besides those 5, that is a fail. Those of you that are just meeting me and think I'm insane, I'm letting you know the best loan officers in the country are one and done. If there are conditions on their loans, it is because A, they did not get them up front and submit them, or the underwriter had an extremely bad day and they need to call back and have those conditions immediately removed. Okay? Now, when you think about inventory right now, and you think about we're going back into the type of market where we mellowed out a little bit, I think in the fall, late summer. I think in the heat of COVID, you put a 3-2 starter on the market and it was, you had 27 offers on that thing in about 10 seconds. Okay. And then we mellowed out. It was more like 8 or 9. And I don't know about you all, you can let me know in the chat or whatever, but I think we're right back to, 27 offers on these houses now. Okay. So if you have to talk to a listing agent, you don't want to be telling a listing agent, yeah, I've seen their credit, their credit's good. And, I'm really sure they're qualified and they're great people, but I haven't seen their pay stubs. That person's never getting the house ever in the history of the world. You need to be able to say, hey, I have everything I need, literally everything. I've looked at everything. We're done. I just need the contract. I just need the contract or the appraisal, title work, HOI, homeowner's insurance, close the loan. That's it. Literally, I need nothing. Okay. Now, this for a lot of loan officers, when I first meet them, is a very foreign concept. They think they're good at docking loans, but then they meet me and they realize, oh crap, I'm not really that good at this. Okay. There should literally be no conditions on your approvals. If you have conditions, you're doing it wrong. Okay. If an underwriter ever redoes your income, unless it is the funkiest loan ever, you did something wrong. It's your fault. You should know how to run income. You should know that. You shouldn't have that being redone. If you have conditions for large deposits on your files, that is completely unacceptable. That means nobody looked at the bank statements. That's insane. Who's submitting files without looking at the bank statements and being surprised over that? Okay? Now, with all that said, think about the kind of market we're in right now. You need to be able to tell a listing agent, this borrower is done. They are finished. We need nothing. Zero. And they need to be confident that your answer is correct. You're not lying. Okay? The only way to do that is to take a complete loan application and dock the file. Now, your agent partners should know you're going to be coming like this. They should know you're going to be coming hard at the borrowers like this. They should be supportive of that. If they're not, your relationship is clearly not deep enough with them to get them to be supportive of fully docking a file. Oh, well, that's so-and-so. They don't ask me for anything. Okay, cool. Then you need to go to so-and-so. Enjoy yourself because you're not getting a mortgage. All right. I mean, you may just be able to pay cash, but you're not getting a mortgage. Okay. So I have never seen a time in the market ever where it is more important ever than to completely pre-approve buyers. You want to provide the best service to your agent partners there is. That is the number one thing that you can be doing. I love when I talk to loan officers and they say, oh yeah, man, my stuff's all pre-approved and I'm good. I don't have any conditions. And then I talk to their LOA or someone that works on their team and I say, pull Smith, read it to me. And there's 19 conditions. But to the loan officer, oh, that loan's approved. We're good. We're good. We don't need anything. Yeah, you need 18 things that some LOA is going to go get. Oh, and by the way, out of those 18 things, you better hope they're all right. Because if they're not right, Kristen, where's your savage tan? I'm calling you out. If they're not right, then you could potentially have a denied loan because a loan with conditions is not approved. Approved with conditions is the biggest joke I've ever heard. That's called denied with conditions. Get the conditions, then it'll be approved. Okay? I realize the world we live in and how we look at things, but the reality of it is we can't roll like that with our agent partners right now when they might be one of 18 offers. We cannot provide that kind of service. We have to know we are completely done. You can't go the oops, oh yeah, I still need this. Okay? That's not going to play at all. So think about how I'm going to use the word apping people. We don't really app people anymore, but how you app people, how you interview people, what you're asking for, how you follow up on the docs needed. Who asked? Does anyone even tell them? Or do you just send some stupid email that somebody pre-wrote and you're like, oh, I sent the email. Maybe we'll get the docs. Okay, cool. I'll have someone else chase them. Or do you actually ask for them? Does anyone look at them? Or do they just go in some virtual folder somewhere and you look when you get the contract? I would tell people to raise their hand if they roll like that right now, and I'd see a lot of hands if you're being brutally honest. Okay? If you pre-qual someone in a market like this, are you refreshing the docs? It could take people months to find a house. Well, guess what? If they find a house and your docs are dead, it's like another loan. It's like now you're originating it twice. And by the way, your agent partners, they don't care. They're like, I already gave these people some pre-qual. What do you mean you need more stuff? I don't understand. Okay? Let me know if they have any agent partners that say, oh, I so understand why you redoc the file. No, that's not how they roll. They gave them to you. You said they were good. Now they're not good anymore because your docs expired and no one followed up. Okay? I am telling you in this market right now, if you are not doing all of these things, you're certifiably insane. And there's someone in your market that is doing these things for your soon to be gone agent partners. Okay? Because this is the only way to roll right now. You have to roll like this. There are 5 million people minimum that want to buy houses this year, and there's no houses for them to buy. If you're in one of those super raging hot markets like Nashville, Tampa, Boise, there's probably other places in Florida, Dallas, Texas. If you're in Scottsdale, if you're in one of those markets, multiply everything I'm saying right now times 10. Because more people are trying to move there and your inventory is still horrible. All right? The only way, the best way to be super supportive of your agent partners is to actually completely do your job. Whenever I hear a loan officer say to me, Joel, I'll just get that when I get the contract, I'll get that. Whenever I hear those words, I'm like, okay, you're clearly not a good loan officer. And I know you're blowing stuff up. Because then when you get the contract, you go get it. If anything's wrong, you got a problem. And you don't want any problems in this kind of market when your offer is barely eking its way through, maybe past a cash offer. One of the things I've noticed in the past 2 years, which honestly I've never really seen before like this, is a lot of people's product mix, even if they're in a market that's more of a, like a Pittsburgh or where my good friend Kristen is in the middle of Wisconsin, I have seen product mix, people that used to do 45% govies, it went to like 15 or 20%. Only because they couldn't get a govy contract through. They had to switch to conventional to get the agents to consider the offer. That's the kind of market we're in right now. It is uber competitive and it's crazy. And if you are not doing that up front, if you are not spending the time, if you and your team are not fully docking these files, you are going to lose partners. You're also going to have a massive volume drop because you're not even going to have enough people to put through. Those of you that know my terminology, from a BIC perspective, there's loan officers in the market right now that have 60, 70 BICs teed up, ready to go. Okay. BIC is a completely doc file, everyone. I mean, completely done. Everything. Letters, LOXs in the file, large deposits in the file. And it's sitting like that without a contract. Okay. There is nothing coming back. Now, what I would encourage you all to do is, if you agree with me and you don't think I'm insane, I encourage you to actually look at your last 10 loan approvals and see what conditions are on there. And if you're seeing anything but an appraisal, you pretty much have a problem. And if you're seeing patterns, fix the patterns. Okay. If you don't have LOXs on any of your approvals, get them up front. Doesn't take that long. If you have large deposit stuff, get it dealt with before you submit it. Tell the underwriter what it is. Don't make them ask you. Tell them, this is what this is. Okay. If your income is being constantly reworked, you need to go find someone to teach you how to do income. One of the big problems right now we have in the market is we have a lot of loan officers that were never taught how to run income. I see there's a bunch of old people on here like me, so they do know, but there's a bunch of young people that don't. You're part of the DU era, and you were never really taught how to qualify with a calculator and a pen. Okay, these are things that are very useful right now to be able to do this. Okay, these are the cleanest loan approvals that come in. All right, so I wanted to talk about lead to contract today because I think it's so important. And I will tell you that these agents all talk to each other, and they will let them know, hey, if Ed Brem at Guaranteed Rate says you're done, you're done. You can take the offer with his letter on it. You're finished. No surprises at the end. You're not going to have any surprises. It's gonna fly right through. You know, if Kristen says it's okay, you're okay. You're done. They all talk to each other when they're looking at that many offers. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to tell you right now in this type of market, and then I'm going to let you go, is I just want to talk about B2Bs for a second. I can never talk about this enough. A B2B is a belly to belly, breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks. It's never coffee. Coffee's not allowed. Coffee is not for closers. Coffee's for losers. You should never be at coffee with anyone, anywhere. Okay. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and or drinks. Okay. You should be out and about. You should be 4 to 5 B2Bs a week right now. If you're not, somebody else is. These agents are very, very stressed out right now because of inventory. You should be talking to them. If you need to be their shrink, you should be their shrink, but you should really be in a friend relationship with them where they can talk to you. They are extremely stressed out right now. Anyone wants to chime in and tell me their agents are not stressed, let me know. I'm pretty sure if you all went in the chat, I'd hear, yes, my agents are losing it right now. Okay. To the point where in some markets, they're like, yeah, I'm just going to take the month off. I'm going to an island. I don't care. Nothing's happening anyway, or whatever is happening, I can't make happen anyway. Because my buyer's already lost out on 9 offers. That'd be a classic Tampa story. Okay. Or someplace in Florida. All right. So you need to be in front of them right now. All right. You have to be. All right. And one of the best things you can do, one of the best little drills you can do is look at the loans you've closed over the past 60 days, see who referred them to you, and see if you've physically seen the agent that referred it to you for a B2B in the last 60 days. Those of you who know my drill that are in crush groups know that this is every 30-day thing. Some of you all are in brand new crush groups right now. We haven't started covering this yet, but the bottom line is if you haven't seen them, somebody else is seeing them. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to put anything in the chat? Is there any market represented by anyone on this call right now where you think inventory is good to go or you're seeing houses come back on? Love to hear from you. If there is, the chat's going to be very quiet right now, is my bet. Has anyone ever seen inventory lower than this? I don't think so, right? I certainly haven't, and I've been around for a little bit, and I literally never, ever have. It is crazy. And I've never seen the agents this worked up over not having anything to sell and trying to get sellers to list, and the sellers are completely freaked out that they literally will have no place to go. Okay. And in some markets, there's not even anything for them to rent. So if the seller took the tack of, hey, I'm going to go ahead and sell, I'm going to get max for my house right now, I'm going to kind of cash out. Okay, that's cool. But where am I going? David, you said, what are you saying for the, hold on. What are you saying for the length? What are you saying for the length of time a fully underwritten pre-approval file is good for? I mean, it depends on the docs, David. You know, it's all going to depend on the dates on the docs. So, you know, and where are you, you know, where you're set, where they're being sold. Housing Wire stated last week that there are 500,000 listings in the entire country. Okay. So Susan Kelly says, Housing Wire stated last week that there are 500,000 listings in the entire country. That's 20% down from this time last year, which is about what Clayton Collins from Housing Wire said 2 weeks ago on my call. And Tony, everyone has to help their agents take their unfair share, which is that's a Tony comment all day long. So that's get out there and hustle, basically what Tony's saying. So let me tell you, what a great time to be a loan officer. Don't worry about inventory. If you're providing service and you're providing some more support to your agent partners and other people aren't, then it's winner chicken dinner for you. And I think you'll be the one standing in the third quarter when a lot of loan officers, hopefully no one on this call, is selling cars. Okay, because when the refis are completely gone, that's when we see who's got what and who's really going to step up and take market share. And I'm watching my one-on-one people that I work with. I'm watching their market share literally go up. Their market share is going up where they are in purchase transactions. Nothing is going down. Refis, to me, we don't even count them. If you take them, that's great. It's awesome. The only refis I count are refinance referred by a real estate agent. That to me is a purchase loan. It's the same. So it's referred by an agent, but that's the only stuff we count. Everything else is fluff. Good for you. Put it in your bank account, buy a second home, save it, pay for college, whatever you want. But I'm only focused on purchase loans because I know people buy houses when the rates are 10%. It doesn't matter. Don't buy into all the hooey and all the hype about, oh my God, rates will be 5% by the end of the year. Wah! Just so you know, those agents, they're full-time agents. They're not going to stop selling houses because the rates are 5. Okay? It's not going to happen. They'll be just as busy, and so will you. Okay, so everyone, thank you for joining me this week. This recording is on Facebook and on YouTube. It's on LinkedIn. I don't know what that is, Josh. A little bit of background. I will see everyone 2 weeks from now. Those of you that are coming to New Orleans with me, Eddie Brem, I will see you tomorrow.